Do you think that this is something that just within the SEC, a rules change on this front would be sufficient to make other institutions comfortable with getting into tokenization?
Yeah, absolutely. I already work and we already work with many of the leading banks, institutions, asset managers, and institutional grade issuers. And I already have many personal conversations, and we have many engagements with them, planning and are already working to go into live production tokenization efforts in anticipation of these changes. And these changes are actually very technical and specific to something called transfer agency, and how tokens can be moved and how tokens can exist on a blockchain rather than having to exist in a very specific set of clearing and settlement rails and systems. And these changes are not that dramatic, frankly. I think they're pretty straightforward, technical legal changes that through some amount of guidance and rulemaking can happen pretty quickly. I do think there is a kind of tsunami and growing group of really high quality issuers that are in the process of getting technology providers, getting a digital asset team being set up to do the tokenization. Because if you really look at Chairman Atkins' previous two speeches from May and July, you will see that the goal of the SEC now is really to enable tokenization. And the recent announcement you spoke about also restates that goal, is that tokenization in the US financial markets should be an easy, smooth, and riskless process. That is something that they've made extremely clear now. And I also felt it in my conversations with them, and our team is also meeting with them later today again. And we are working with them on a consistent basis to try and create clarity on what changes to transfer agency and other key rules would be the most useful for our industry. And we are receiving a lot of very real collaboration in that our goals in making the industry grow and tokenize in the US financial system are shared by them.
When do you meet with Chair Atkins again? Do you already have another meeting on the books?
We don't have another meeting set up now. These things usually get set up pretty quickly. But our team is meeting today again with them, with the SEC staff and the Crypto Task Force staff. We've had multiple meetings with them as an organization, and I fully expect us to have multiple meetings in the coming weeks, and wouldn't be surprised if I have the opportunity to speak with the chairman and others directly again.
Now,
I'm seeing a lot of progress, and I'm seeing a real commitment to moving the legislative process forward, and really getting a lot of support from the White House to move the process forward on the Hill, and not just leaving it to the respective, majority leaders and whips of the Hill. So I definitely feel and see a lot of progress and support. The Genius Act is a very clear sign of that. Market structure is something that is progressing. Had some good conversations with Tim Scott, a few weeks ago in Wyoming, about the urgency and the timeline that he has, which is for this year. Have been meeting with people from the White House. I'm going back to the White House today to meet with people there on various crypto topics. And so I definitely see a very concerted effort between the regulators, the White House, and the legislative branches, both the Senate and the Congress. I think that the interesting thing is that this is an issue that has completely now become bipartisan. I think the Genius Act had so many votes from the Democrat side in such a polarized political time. There's few issues that enjoyed that many votes from both parties on an issue. And so I think it's actually becoming a more and more safe topic and more safe agenda item for Democrats and Republicans to come together on, and a place where they can make progress and really help bolster and increase the U.S. economy, which is not a very controversial idea.